Hello Geminis, welcome to your reading for December 2018. I hope you find it of use. So I picked 5 cards for you, starting with the past energy, which is the King of Wands, your current issues or situation, which is the Chariot, possible obstacles for you right now, which is the Moon, possible helpful tools is the 8 of Wands, and the outcome for you for December is the 9 of Wands, and your overall theme is the card Dragonfly, which represents clarity, and I'll go into that at the end of the reading. What I noticed immediately with your reading was that there's a lot of Wands cards and a lot of Wands energy. So Wands being about motivation, passion, life purpose, energy, drive, all those kinds of things. So maybe this is an area of focus for you this month. So starting with your past energy, the King of Wands. King's very much about father or authority figures, rulers, leaders, bosses. As the King in this case is in the past position, you may have been reflecting on the influence of your family upbringing, possibly your father in your childhood, or someone who was in a fatherly role, or a domineering man in your past, or dealing with issues around this person. But there also could have been a fire sign male who has qualities around you of a leader and who is very charismatic, wise, educated, maybe a pillar of the community, but they can also be a bit jealous, a bit strict, harsh, or bullying at times. So these might have been issues that you personally were dealing with within you, or with someone around you, like a boss or even a father. Current issues or situation, you have the Chariot. So this represents the journey moving forward with really youthful energy. It can also represent driving, going on a drive, determination and willpower, sort of heading towards a victory despite the odds, really overcoming the odds. Also though, with this card, sometimes things can be moving a bit too quickly because you want to beat the competition, or there's sort of a real rushing in, and that's something, I guess, to be cautious of. So what I was thinking with the first and second cards here is that maybe in your past you were quite influenced sort of internally or externally by a father or authority figure who was very passionate about their role. And although it's a masculine energy, this could have been a man or a woman. Perhaps an entrepreneur inspired you or influenced you, and you're now starting on your own path. You're now acting on this influence, but you just need to be mindful perhaps of slowing it down and retaining some sort of logic and wisdom along with that kind of urgency, which is exciting, but still we need to kind of calm and breathe on the journey as well. Possible obstacles, the third card there is the Moon. The Moon, particularly in this sort of position of the obstacles, can very much be about things that are hidden, things not seen, anxieties and fears, the subconscious. Being the Moon, that means it's dark and it's sort of lit by moonlight and you can't quite see everything that's happening. So could also represent illusion and deception, hidden factors and dishonesty, or it can also represent hidden sort of forces at work, messages received from your dreams, things coming up from the deep, but something not quite right or not fully known yet. It may be right, but it may not be fully known. And again, this makes me think in relation to the first 2 cards, that something that you're maybe working on at present, a project, a relationship, an issue that you have a lot of energy and enthusiasm about, you might not have all the information for it just now. Things may be hidden from you, or there's just things that you don't quite see. And that certainly makes me think of, with the Chariot card, really rushing in and having all that energy, being inspired by someone before you. Just to go a little bit slower with that, because not everything is seen and known. The Moon is also about intuition, so I would really encourage you to tune into your intuition, and this obviously comes from slowing things down, maybe entering into a bit more of a reflective space until you have all of the pieces of the puzzle together, and then can sort of move forward again with that Chariot energy. So whatever you're working on, in that case, just to again sort of just slow it down. It'll get done. You're on the path, but just to be mindful of that. The fourth card there is the Eight of Wands. And again, this is about forward movement in your life right now, fast moving energy. It's a really positive indicator, and an indicator that you're on the right path and that you're on the threshold of something new. So whatever it is that you're working on, like a project, something at work, a relationship, an issue, something, I think it's very positive and it's definitely moving in the right direction. With the Eight of Wands, it's possible that an offer may come your way. This might be helpful to consider, might be really useful. Maybe this is something that you aren't aware of just yet, but that may come your way. Likewise, if a trip is suggested or offered, or you're thinking of going on one, this might also be useful in relation to what you're working on. So that's quite interesting that you have energies around driving before to do with the Chariot, and now with the Eight of Wands there's another kind of travel metaphor of going on a trip or something like that. So I'm not sure what that's about, but maybe something like that will come up for you in December, and to really consider that because it looks like it could be a useful endeavour. Finally, for the outcome for December for you guys, with lovely Geminis, you have the Nine of Wands. So we can see that you progress from the Eight of Wands to the Nine of Wands just at the end of the reading, and that's really awesome. So you'll definitely be gaining some strength and stamina, and develop strength in adversity and from the challenges you've faced. So very much whatever little journey you've been on now, you're sort of really getting through that, and this will really help you gain resilience and courage. At times you might feel like your faith in yourself or in the universe is really being tested, but you know, we don't get anywhere good in life, I think, without going through this test, without a bit of the dark night of the soul journey. You know, often we start off with this brilliant idea to do something, and we get going on that with all this youthful sort of passion and energy, and then all these kind of obstacles come up, things we didn't realise, we didn't see, we kind of got to work through that. Often we want to just chuck it all in because it's just too hard. But I think that's when you're really being tested and you're sort of at the lowest point of that project. And I think with anything creative and new, that is going to come up, and it is a bit of a test, but it's like birth, you know, like labour. You're growing something inside of you, and the birth itself can be a real challenge, a real test, and then certainly the early days of a newborn, the early weeks or months. But then you get something really good from it. So you might be a little bit battle weary by the end, but you're nearly at the end. So keep going. And finally, I'm using some beautiful cards called the Dreamtime Reading Cards, which are based on Aboriginal Australian mythology and ancient sort of history. So the card that came up for you in December, Gemini, was Dragonfly, and Dragonfly in this deck represents clarity. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to show you the card a little bit closer because it's got beautiful little dot paintings, Aboriginal Australian dot paintings. Art has been used. I'll put the details of the deck down below. You can see here there's some beautiful little dragonflies. Sorry for the way I'm holding it. See all the detail there, it's just incredible. They look like little leaves at the bottom. So there's 3 dragonflies there. Just going to pop it back. Whoop. I'm just going to read for you. Dragonfly. So dragonflies come in an abundant rainbow of colours and sizes. They range from only a few centimetres in length to ones as large as your hand, with a wingspan of around twice that. The dragonfly starts life as a rather unattractive larva that lives in water before it evolves into an adult and gains wings. The period spent in the darkness of the water equips the dragonfly larva for its time of flight and freedom. The dragonfly is associated with the element of air, which I found was really interesting because you guys are an air element, and represents clear thinking and clear knowing. Its transparent wings offer insight and transparency to questions and situations you may be facing in your life. Due to its ability to hover and move quickly, the dragonfly is associated with seeing things from different angles, which I thought was very interesting with your reading, because you've got the moon card there, and perhaps things not being seen. So its silent, fleeting dance encourages creativity and freedom as it moves with grace and purpose. And this reading, I think, is very much about some sort of creative endeavour, having lots of wands energy. Whether that's even the birth of a child, I'm thinking as well, because sex being the ultimate sort of creative energy in our body. But it could be the birth of something else, don't worry. Maybe just be careful about that though. So dragonflies, its transparent wings shine with truth and answers. If a dragonfly has shown itself to you today, or maybe this month in December, know that it's a blessing and that the answers you seek are not far behind. Colour can also hold some answers for you, so take note of the colour of the dragonfly. That if you see one, take note of that as well. So I thought that was, incredibly kind of apt for your reading. That certainly towards the end of the month, maybe you will get a bit more clarity on whatever creative endeavour you are working on right now. Dragonflies obviously have a lot of energy, have a lot of movement, flitting from one place to the other. And that they do have transparent wings as well. Actually, they're beautiful. I saw one around here recently. I don't know if there's dragonflies wherever you guys are watching this from. So, that is your reading for December, lovely Geminis. I hope it's useful. If not, perhaps choose one of the many other amazing readers on YouTube. Do what you need to do in relation to this reading. These are just messages that really come from the universe that are coming through the cards for you. And so I wish you all the best. The details of the cards are below because I'm using the ink and intuition cards as well as those Dreamtime reading cards. And have a wonderful December and end of the year. Bye.